If you did not listen to the other episode, we talked about AI, construction, and development and what the future looks like. We have special guest returning, Anthony Amunategui. Today, we talk about cool, interesting deals and our deal breakdowns.
This show is sponsored by HiveMind CRM. It is more than just a CRM. It is a real estate and business mastermind that comes with an all-in-one CRM. You can have unlimited websites and users. You can call, text, RVM, and email all in one user interface. And you can set up custom automations for any type and multiple businesses. 65% of companies start using a CRM system within the first 5 years of business. Once implemented, the HiveMind will save you on marketing, give you more time, and make more money. One of our users had his first $100,000 month using our system in June. We want to see you automate and accelerate your business. Text us at 210-972-1842 for future meetings, and of course to get our $1 course on how to make more than 6 figures on one land deal. You can schedule your free demo today at HiveMindCRM.io.
So what is your cool, interesting story, Anthony, you have for us?
You know, I've got a bunch of them out there, but I'm gonna tell the audience a little about what I'm doing right now. It's kind of a fun one. I just got done buying a $500,000 building. Wow. Right, it's a guy who's owned it. His family owned it. They actually built it. Him and his dad actually built the building almost 50 years ago. They've owned it. It was kind of an underproducing asset. It had a dry cleaner in it. It had a theater in it, and the theater went belly up after COVID. So for the last few years, it was empty, and he was only getting a partial amount of money from the dry cleaner, a little bit over $1,000 a month. And when I sat down with him to look at the property, what I noticed was he's elderly. He doesn't want to sell the property outright because he doesn't want to take the capital gains hit, right? Because he pretty much appreciated the entire building over the 50 years they've had it. So the idea was, how can we put this deal together in a way that might be a little bit more creative? Right. So one of the things we came up with was a rent to own. Right. We cut a deal that wrote a contract that said, look, I'll pay you rent on this building for X period of time. And it was a 2-year period. And I'll give you $7,000 a month for that rent. And that's going to go directly to buying down my overall cost of the building. Right. So imagine he's going to get essentially, he'll end up getting $84,000 a year.
Yep.
Right. And the only thing that comes out of that are taxes and insurance. Right. So the tax and insurance come out of that money. Everything else is, and any expenses that are incurred on that during that time, I pay for them. Right. So now I flipped the building around. I put 70 grand in the building. I bought the building, put 70 grand in it, put a new roof on it, built out the new tenant, filled in the old, the space where the school was. I did a little build out in there. And I put a school. There was a theater in there, and the theater they had dug it out, and they had like 4 levels deep. So they had kind of this.
Oh wow!
This thing. So I filled it in, poured back in, put a couple bathrooms in it, and I rented to a school. Now school pays me $7,000 a month. I've upped the rent on the dry cleaner to $2,000 a month. I'm incoming $9,000 a month. I'm paying him $7,000 a month. I'm already cash flowing $2,000 a month on the deal, right? While I'm paying, that's directly going to my pocket, because all $7,000, that minus the tax insurance, are essentially going in my pocket and buying down the deal, because I'm going from $500,000, right? Minus that $84,000. So let's say we got another $70,000 in actual cash that's going to buy down my deal. That's $140,000 off the $500,000 deal. When we close in 2 years, I'll buy the property at the discounted rate for that property. And I'll already have shown the bank that I'm already cash flowing, and I've already got 2 great tenants in the space.
So you can essentially refinance and pay them off.
That's
not even using your own capital.
I use some of my capital to do a new roof and build out the tenant in there. I probably could have cheapened that out, because I got a pretty good, I got a really good deposit from both. He had no deposit on the dry cleaner, and he had no deposit. And it was since the school, they gave me first, last, and security and a pretty decent amount of money there for their deposit.
One thing I want to hit on too that you never mentioned, it was 0% interest. You never mentioned
0% interest. No money, no money on the money that I'm borrowing from him. And when I close this deal, it becomes a pretty sweet deal. Now, I also may have the option to grab another year from him. He and I were talking the other day. He goes, look, if he pushes back another year, you want to bite down for another year? For him, it doesn't matter. For me, it doesn't matter either. I've got it papered pretty well where there's no real chance of me losing anything, no matter what happens to him or the deal.
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity. And for him, he gets the benefit of paying less taxes because he's getting actually paid off the principal.
That's right.
So
That's right.
He gets a cheaper buy down. So it's a win-win scenario. You get an amazing deal with cash flow today and the opportunity to refinance and the opportunity to even extend that debt even longer. And he gets the opportunity of paying less taxes. So I think it's a win-win scenario for everybody here. Very creative using a lease option rent-to-own buy down. Amazing.
Thanks.
I'm really glad you brought the story up because we talked about this on your episode, and I'm really glad you brought it up. So this is such a cool, interesting. Now we actually get to share it. I love podcasting because we have the ability to share like our first and second conversations. Like we never really talked beyond the podcast. Everything you're hearing is all here for everybody here to listen. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing that. I hope people learned that. You get to negotiate from wherever you want to negotiate from. And you just got to understand what the seller's needs and wants out of the transaction, and you create a win-win scenario.
Thanks. I love your podcast. The work you do out here is amazing. Thanks for having me on. I really do. You got an amazing podcast. Every one of these is full of all kinds of cool ideas.
So where can people find you online? Future Factory Podcast. That's where I was interviewed. I don't know if the episode came out, but can you tell the audience where people can find that? And hopefully they'll follow you there as well.
Danny, you can find us on Future Factory Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, all of Apple, all of the platforms that stream podcasts. We are on, I believe, all of them. I don't know anything we're missing. You can also catch me on LinkedIn, Anthony Amunategui at LinkedIn, and you can find me on all of you. Type in Anthony Amunategui. Most of the social platforms will pick us up. So thanks for having me on the show.
For everybody here tuning in, thanks for tuning in. Just go like, share, subscribe. You know what to do. We'll see you on the next episode. Thank you, Anthony, for coming on. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks guys.
Hey guys, so the HiveMind is launching a new program where we're helping you work deals that are valued at $1 million and up. If your deal is worth $980,000, we don't want to take a look at it. You can submit those deals to us at submitbigland.com, and we'll help you comp the deals. If it's good, we'll help you close it, and we'll also help you fund it and sell it. Check us out, submitbigland.com, milliondollarmastermind.com, and wholesaling $1 million land deals on Facebook. Thanks guys.